Let us dive into the hidden gems of 1960s Hollywood, those incredible actors and actresses who never quite got the spotlight they deserved, but whose talent was absolutely undeniable. Van Heflin. While everyone was focusing on the leading men of the era, Heflin was quietly stealing scenes as one of the most reliable supporting actors in the business. He had this incredible ability to elevate every film he was in, yet somehow stayed under the radar. Then there's Dana Andrews. Talk about versatility. After dominating the 40s and 50s, he continued delivering knockout performances throughout the 60s. The thing about Andrews was his natural authenticity. He could make any character feel real, whether he was playing a tough guy or a sophisticated gentleman. And here's something interesting. We all know Robert Redford as a Hollywood legend, but his rise to fame in the 60s often gets overlooked. Before Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid made him a superstar, he was already showing his incredible range and charm in earlier roles. It's fascinating how even someone who became such an icon could be underrated in their early years. Richard Widmark. Now there's a character actor who could do it all. He brought such intensity and depth to every role, making even smaller parts memorable and impactful. Now let's talk about the ladies who deserved way more recognition. Agnes Moorehead, what a powerhouse. Sure, many remember her as Endora from Bewitched, but her film work was extraordinary. That voice, that presence, she could command any scene she was in. Angie Dickinson, beauty, talent, and incredible screen presence. From Ocean's 11 to various TV roles, she brought such sophistication and depth to her characters. She should have been much bigger than she was. Ann-Margret, talk about a triple threat. She could sing, dance, and act with the best of them. While some might have dismissed her, she showed incredible depth and versatility in her performances. Tuesday Weld. If you want to talk about raw talent, here's your person. She had this incredible ability to portray complex, troubled characters with such authenticity. Critics might have overlooked her, but her work speaks for itself. And finally, Natalie Wood. Yes, she was famous, but here's the thing, she's still underrated. People remember her beauty and tragic end more than her incredible acting talent. Her work in the 60s showed such maturity and depth that deserves more recognition even today. These performers might not have always gotten the accolades they deserved, but they helped shape what we now consider the golden age of Hollywood. Their contributions to cinema are invaluable, and it's about time we gave them the recognition they truly deserve. Few actors commanded respect quite like Van Heflin. Born Emmett Evan Heflin in 1908, he was a different kind of star, one who chose authenticity over glamour, substance over style. While others chased the spotlight, Heflin let his work speak for itself. Winning an Oscar for Best Supporting Actor in 1942, he became a cornerstone of 1950s westerns, bringing depth and honesty to every role he touched. But what made him truly special was his dedication to the craft rather than the fame. He was the actor's actor, the one who proved you didn't need to live the Hollywood lifestyle to make it big. Tragically, on a summer day in 1971, Heflin suffered a heart attack while swimming, leading to his passing weeks later at just 62. True to his private nature, he requested a quiet farewell, with his ashes scattered in the ocean. A fitting end for a man who made waves without ever seeking to make a splash. Few stars burned as bright as Dana Andrews. From humble beginnings, he rose to become one of the most compelling leading men of the 1940s and 50s, captivating audiences with his powerful presence in film noir classics and gritty westerns. But like many Hollywood tales, Andrews' story wasn't just about glamour and success. Behind the camera, he fought a personal battle with alcoholism that would ultimately reshape his career. Yet what's remarkable about Andrews was his resilience. When many would have given up, he reinvented himself. The 1960s saw him transform from leading man to respected character actor, particularly in war films where his strong military-type presence brought authenticity to every role. 1965 was an especially prolific year for him, proving that even past his prime, Dana Andrews remained a force to be reckoned with in Hollywood. His journey from silver screen idol to versatile character actor speaks to his enduring talent and determination. Though Alzheimer's disease claimed him in 1992 at age 83, Dana Andrews left behind a legacy that reminds us that true stars don't just shine. They adapt, persevere, and leave an indelible mark on cinema history. From Hollywood heartthrob to groundbreaking filmmaker, Robert Redford's journey through the 1960s is nothing short of extraordinary. A young, charismatic actor stepping into the spotlight, not knowing he'd become one of America's most beloved cultural icons. The decade kicked off with Redford making waves in Hollywood, but it was his role in Inside Daisy Clover in 1965 that really turned heads. Playing the mysterious Wade Lewis, he showed us he was more than just a pretty face. He could act, and boy, could he command the screen. Then came This Property is Condemned in '66, where he starred alongside Natalie Wood, proving his ability to bring depth and complexity to any character he portrayed. But it was Barefoot in the Park in 1967 that really let his charm shine through. Starring opposite Jane Fonda, Redford's natural comedic timing and undeniable chemistry with his co-star had audiences falling in love. And just when we thought we had him figured out, he gave us the performance that would define his career. The smooth-talking Sundance Kid in Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. This 1969 classic didn't just cement his superstar status, it inspired the name of what would later become his greatest contribution to independent film, the Sundance Institute. Who knew that this decade of incredible performances would be just the beginning of a legacy that would reshape American cinema forever? Richard Widmark wasn't your typical Hollywood star. When he burst onto the silver screen in the 1940s, he made audiences' skin crawl with his unforgettable portrayals of villains and psychopaths. That sinister laugh of his could send chills down anyone's spine. But here's the thing, Widmark wasn't content being typecast as the bad guy. He had bigger dreams and the talent to match. Throughout his incredible career, he transformed himself time and time again, jumping from gritty film noir to sweeping westerns, from intense dramas to edge-of-your-seat thrillers. By the 1960s, he devolved into something entirely different, the man in charge, taking on powerful, complex roles that showed just how versatile an actor he truly was. When he passed away in 2008 at 93, he left behind a legacy that proved one thing: never put a great actor in a box. They'll always find a way to break free. Agnes Moorehead was more than just Endora from Bewitched. She was a powerhouse of talent who conquered every entertainment medium she touched. Starting in radio with Orson Welles' Mercury Theatre, she made waves in Hollywood with her film debut in Citizen Kane. Her magnetic presence and incredible range earned her 4 Oscar nominations throughout her career. But it was her role as the sharp-tongued, scene-stealing witch Endora that made her a household name in the 1960s. Whether she was casting spells or delivering wickedly funny one-liners, Moorehead brought an unforgettable charm to the character. She also terrified audiences in The Twilight Zone as the invaders, without speaking a single word. Now that's talent. Sadly, we lost this incredible actress to cancer in 1974, but her legacy lives on through her remarkable performances that continue to captivate audiences today. Angie Dickinson, a true Hollywood icon who's graced our screens for over 6 decades. Born in 1931, this stunning beauty queen turned actress proved she was so much more than just a pretty face. After winning local pageants, she caught Hollywood's eye and never looked back. You might remember her lighting up the screen alongside John Wayne in Rio Bravo, or stealing scenes in the original Ocean's 11 with the Rat Pack. But it was her groundbreaking role as Sergeant Pepper Anderson in Policewoman that really made TV history. She was one of the first female leads to carry a police drama, paving the way for countless actresses who followed. When she wasn't dazzling audiences, she shared her life with famous composer Burt Bacharach and raised their daughter Nikki. From her unforgettable performance in Dressed to Kill to her trailblazing television career, Angie Dickinson showed us what it means to be both glamorous and tough, making her mark as one of Hollywood's most enduring stars. From a small town in Sweden to the dazzling lights of Hollywood, Ann-Margret's story is nothing short of magical. This vibrant Swedish-American beauty took the entertainment world by storm in the 1960s, lighting up the screen in classics like Bye Bye Birdie and setting hearts racing alongside Elvis in Viva Las Vegas. But she wasn't just another pretty face. Ann-Margret was a triple threat, acting, singing, and dancing her way into America's heart. She earned Oscar nominations for her powerful performances in Carnal Knowledge and Tommy, while her electrifying Las Vegas shows became the stuff of legend. During the Vietnam War, she showed her true colors, bringing joy to our troops through USO tours. 7 decades later, she's still the same firecracker who captured our imagination, proving that true star power never fades. Ann-Margret, a true Hollywood icon who showed us that talent, determination, and a Swedish sparkle can take you anywhere. Tuesday Weld, a name that echoes both the glamour and darkness of Hollywood's golden age. Born Susan Kerr Weld in 1943, she wasn't just another pretty face in the crowd. From the tender age of 4, she was thrust into the spotlight as a child model, carrying the weight of her family's financial struggles on her tiny shoulders. But here's where the story takes an interesting turn. Unlike many child stars who fade into obscurity, Tuesday transformed her early struggles into powerful performances. She became known for portraying complex, troubled characters that seemed to mirror her own complicated journey. In films like Looking for Mr. Goodbar and The Cincinnati Kid, she didn't just act, she brought raw, authentic emotion to the screen. While Hollywood was busy trying to make her into another blonde bombshell, Tuesday was busy proving she was so much more. Her performances in Rally Round the Flag Boys and Pretty Poison showcased her versatility and earned her critical acclaim, including Golden Globe and Academy Award nominations. But perhaps the most fascinating part of Tuesday's story is how she chose to write her own ending. In the late 1980s, at the height of her career, she stepped away from the spotlight, becoming increasingly selective about her roles. It was her way of finally taking control of a life that had begun under someone else's direction. From child star to Hollywood legend, the story of Natalie Wood is one that captivates and haunts us to this day. Born Natalie Zakharenko to Russian immigrants in 1938, she was thrust into the spotlight before she could even understand what fame meant. You might remember her as the little girl who captured hearts in Miracle on 34th Street, but Natalie was destined for so much more. Unlike many child stars who fade away, she blazed through Hollywood's golden age, transforming into one of its most mesmerizing leading ladies. Her performances in Rebel Without a Cause, West Side Story, and Splendor in the Grass weren't just roles, they were masterclasses in acting that earned her 3 Oscar nominations. But behind the glamour was a woman who never really had a childhood. Pushed by a mother whose ambitions shaped her daughter's destiny, Natalie lived life like the movies she starred in, full of passion, romance, and drama. But her story took a tragic turn in 1981, when at just 43, she mysteriously drowned off Catalina Island. It's an ending that still puzzles us today, adding another layer to the legend of this remarkable actress who left us far too soon. If you enjoyed learning about these iconic stars of the 1960s, don't forget to like and subscribe for more fascinating stories from Hollywood's golden age. See you next time.